Thank you so much for joining in. Let me press right here the comments so you guys can see the live chat. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. I would like to have a little chat with you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in. Share this video out. Let's see how many we can get. I'll wait for a few seconds so we can get some people on the live feed and we can talk. Let's see those notifications and let's see those likes from people. See how many people we can get. Immediately is going up. Yep, we got people going up there. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News, correspondent for Real America's Voice News. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless our country of Mexico, our city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Let's thank God for giving us 2 legs, 2 arms, a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, and eyes that we can see. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining in. It's a complete mess. That's what it is. Live again from Tijuana. We're going to rest here for a couple of days, and then we're going to head back again to the south border. And ultimately, from there, we will be planning to go on a south border, South America trip. We are planning to go to Chile, from Chile go up to Peru, from Peru go up to Panama, to bring you guys the reality of this enormous catastrophe that is affecting millions of people, that is the mass migration on this globalist open border migration, globalist compact of immigration done by the United Nations. So we're going to take a couple of days off, then we will head back again, to the south border, and then ultimately we are planning to go ultimately to South America to bring you guys the reality and the truth about everything that is happening in this massive influx of migrants that is occurring around the world. What is going on? It is the total collapse, and let me just go by sections, because it is just all over the place. And it is not difficult to be on here, here, and here, and here. This has surpassed the authority of Mexico. This has surpassed the authority of the United States. This problem of immigration has surpassed every authority in the world. The humanitarian crisis that the third world class countries are living, it is a reality, and it is a truth, and it is a fact. Is the United States responsible for all these catastrophes? No. Is Mexico responsible for all these catastrophes? No. Which is the person that is, or which is the responsibility, is their own government. As for what has been happening in Mexico, it's our own government that has been responsible for everything that has been happening to us since, corruption, cartel, and everything that has been happening around our country has been the #1 objective: to destroy our freedom and to destroy everything that we stand for in Mexico. You have the same problem in Venezuela with communism, has completely been an effect of dictatorship by Nicolás Maduro. Ortega in Nicaragua, it is exactly the same situation what is happening in Nicaragua. Ultimately, also, is happening in Honduras with Juan Orlando Hernández. Also, it is happening in South American, Central American, and South American countries. The poverty and the level of inhuman treatment to their own citizens in their own country, it is a reality. And it is hitting right now other countries, and other countries are taking care of this situation, which is a responsibility that it should be in these countries and in their own government. You can ask a person, a migrant, if the conditions were perfect in your country to live, and I mean perfect because the conditions for third world class country people, it is good education, security, and jobs. If that was the case, particularly for you. Would you leave your country? And every single one of them, they will tell you, no, I will not. So the only thing that these people want, a lot of them, is job security and ultimately, better infrastructure. The United States is not responsible for that. Of course, ultimately, it's not responsible for that. Not even Mexico is responsible for that. But the problem is the infrastructure and how this globalization of immigration has been logistically done. It is a catastrophe. It is an earthquake that nobody knows how to control it, and it already got out of hand. A couple of days ago, yesterday, as a matter of fact, yesterday, I was in Tapachula. And 2 days ago, I was in the stadium doing a broadcast late at night, and I was asking this question: when do we forget to be human? And then I was just watching the whole scenario in the stadium as thousands of people were laying down right there and recording video. And I was like, wow, I was amazed on how people from around the world are arriving to the south border of Tapachula. That Tapachula has become the most relentless border in terms to immigration in the world, possibly. All people from across the world, they are coming in, they are arriving to the south border of Tapachula. You can see migrants from all parts of Africa. And I recorded a family from Kazakhstan that arrived the other day to the stadium. It's amazing. And a lot of people are like, ask him where and ask him how he came over here. They don't want to talk. They're tired. They don't want to speak to nobody. And particularly, they don't want to address no problem whatsoever regarding this issue. This is the number one situation right now. As the fluency and as the migrants are being digested and they're being dispersed into different parts of the country of Mexico, more are arriving to the stadium. You can actually go to my Twitter and see a photo that it was just posted by our colleagues at Routers, that I met a lot of them over there, particularly Jose Torres, that he's a great photographer. He posted a picture, an aerial picture with a drone of how the stadium looks right now. And it is amazing. It is more than practically 7,000 to 8,000 people. More than 7,000 to 8,000 people. Imagine that. Again, another influx. You have 4 caravans that they're stuck. One of them is in Veracruz, a state that is close to the coast, and it is actually in the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. That is around 3,000 to 4,000 people. They're struggling to move out of that place. The other one, it was a decreased caravan that it was allowed to get permits, but there was a lot of them that were left behind, like 180 of them. These ones were waiting for a particular permit for them to start walking and for them to, get out of this prison of migrants that is called the state of Chiapas. Another one catched them up of 700. So you got a total of almost 1,000 people that they are all the way to the front in Mapastepec. You got another one that is waiting behind in Huehuetan. You got another one, in Huixtla. And you got another one that are left right now of 3,000. 3,000 migrants that are left right now, migrants from Haiti, that they're walking right now, exacerbated and continuously through every border. And they're closing the roads for the Institute of National Immigration to listen to them and to give them the particular ID that they want so they can leave the state of Chiapas. What has happened? Until now, 3 incidents, the really bad incidents, have happened. One of them was that one of the Institute of National Immigration officials wanted to go to one of these caravans, and he wanted to negotiate with the migrants of Haiti. And the migrants of Haiti turned out it surrounded this guy, and they told him, you're not leaving until you provide buses. That got a little bit out of hand, and ultimately he made a call, and 15 buses were provided. Then another one just left. And they're blocking the streets as they were blocking, as I was in the bridge close to the stadium when they were blocking the streets. This is because the Mexican government, it is out 100% complicit on all of this problematic. They don't have funds. They don't have, particularly, they don't have supplies. They are not prepared for this. As for the Biden administration, it is completely complicit on what is happening to the migrants and their hurtful journey as they're going up or whatever, their journey is. It is horrible what they go through. But the Biden administration is the number one complicit on all of this to invite the world with not an adequate geographical logistic manner as he promised Joe Biden a better pathway for citizenship or better pathway for migrants. This has, created an animosity between authorities, and ultimately has created an animosity not only between authorities, but also has created an animosity between migrants and other branches of level of government. It is completely difficult right now, the situation. It is surpassing every critical handling of a manner on how to control this catastrophe. It is difficult to control this kind of situations, and it is really hard for us to understand why it hasn't been resolved the way that it has been resolved, and why it hasn't been resolved the way that it needs to be resolved. In my news that I have been giving you guys, 3 events happened in this current trip that we had. Horrible events. A little girl from 1 year and 2 months died of dehydration. 1 year and 2 months died of dehydration. A lot of people are suffering because of this immigration issue. And it is a reality, people. A lot of people are saying, Oscar, you're pandering to the migrants. Oscar, you're pandering to this. I'm not pandering to nobody. You haven't even... These people that they are saying these kind of situations are really incompetent individuals that they never had a chance to walk, see, and understand how this globalistic immigration works. When you see, walk, and investigate and be part of the group of journalists that see all this mass migration as it is developing, you will be like, wow, this is shocking, and how they're using people for their political agenda. It is really difficult to really see a child suffer consequences. A woman that has been raped in the Darien Gap, a man that has been abused in the Darien Gap, women that they're pregnant that they have been abused in the Darien Gap, children that they have extracted their organs and being thrown in the river like it's a piece of meat. All those kind of inhuman situations are horrible, and nobody's being held accountable for that. Right now, the situation is getting out of hand in the part of Tapachula. It is a complete mess. And it is a complete mess because the delegate of the State of the Institute National of Immigration by the name of Aristeo Taboada, an inhuman and prepotent, arrogant individual that leads the Institute National of Immigration in the south border, he called our National Guard's officials, "You are behaving like Haitians, like people from Haiti." That was his expression. Imagine that. Imagine listening to the head chief of the Institute National of Immigration arriving to the stadium. And he wanted to go into further lines where the National Guard had control. But him, being an arrogant, prepotent individual, he wanted to surpass the authority of the National Guard. And because the National Guard did not let him into other lines that they were, in custody by the National Guard officials, he called them like this: "You are behaving like people from Haiti. You look like Haitians." Unbelievable. The way that they denigrate The way that these leaders of our authority of Mexico, how they are handling this situation, it is completely horrible. It got out of hand. The globalist compact of immigration, it is the number one problem right here. There is no legal pathway. There is no orderly, safe migration. It is a risk that every single person is taking every time that they walk. I have seen it, walk with it, and I have experienced it myself. I have walked so many miles with them. And in my mind, when I'm walking with them, and when I'm literally sweating, I'm literally sweating. Somebody's asking, what's the name of the official? Aristeo Tawada. When I'm literally walking with them, and I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, what is this person thinking really? As he's walking for miles and miles and miles, you are experiencing something that is remotely unbelievable. For a person to walk so many kilometers and to ultimately land at a place where possibly they're going to return you back and they're not going to admit you. The problem is that this influx has created an enormous chaos. It is a reality. Migrants are waiting for an answer from the Institute National Immigration of Mexico. Also, this exact situation happened in Belarusia with Poland. This exact situation happened to France with Spain. This exact situation happened with the borders of Morocco to Spain. This exact situation happened with the borders of Italy with the Mediterranean Sea. This actually happened with all European countries. This actually happened to all European countries. Mexico does not have the funds. The United States, it is right now saying that they are going to emphasize on the stay in Mexico policy. It hasn't been approved. The Supreme Court is demanding that Biden administration puts back the remain in Mexico policy. But the Biden administration just released a statement that every border of every city needs to take care of migrants as they are arriving to the border. There's two consequences right here. If you put the remain in Mexico policy, the migrants will be held back and they will be remaining in Mexico until possibly their cases will be heard or never be heard. And it will collapse our borders in country of Mexico. If you allow them in, it will create create an open border agenda, and everybody will try to go to the border of the United States of Mexico, and millions will enter irregularly, illegally, or legally asking for asylum. Both ways, it is chaotic. There's no solution. There's no pathway. Joe Biden lied not only to the migrant population, but also he lied to the United States government, and he lied to us, the people in Mexico, that he was going to resolve the immigration situation in his country. It is a complete disaster, the way that they're handling this. A lot of people say there is a large population that is coming to every border and is irregular. Yes, I understand that. But this is the actual fact that I will tell you. Behind people, there's elite, there's globalists, there's an agenda, and people are being used. As I have said multiple times, as I saw kids suffering walking in a caravan, I never saw UNICEF. In one particular point, never saw UNICEF on one particular point. Cálmate. That's my dog. Also, when I was walking with them in the caravan, never saw UNICEF also. Also, when I interviewed a migrant that her child passed away because of dehydration in the caravan never saw UNICEF also. Also, when I saw the large population that it was sitting down and waiting on the sun for more than 5 hours, never saw the United Nations also. Wait a second, I saw them parked outside in their nice car with air conditioning, and nobody was, they were really, comfortable inside of their automobile waiting for the situation to be resolved. Where are all those millions of dollars that are provided to the United Nations? Where are all those millions that are provided to UNICEF? Why they cannot do anything for the children? It is a complete mess. That's what it is. Leaders of the caravans are calling this as a complete mess. Journalists in Tapachula are calling this a complete mess. Mainstream media in Tapachula, they're calling this a complete mess. People just want to leave the city of Tapachula. It is the prison of migrants, that's how they're calling it. And still, you have a border that is open and you're letting people in, but you're encapsulating them in a one particular area. How is that going to be resolved? How is that going to be about? How you're going to fix a problem when you're creating the problem again? As migrants are leaving the stadium, more are arriving. That will never leave. As long as we don't have a legal migration, an orderly migration, and a gap of how many people we can take care of, this situation is always going to be surpassing. Surpassing law, surpassing order, surpassing immigration law, surpassing the necessities, surpassing supplies, surpassing the officers, surpassing Institute National Immigration laws, surpassing everything. Migrants are right now arriving to Del Rio, Texas. More than 400 migrants, apparently, they are located underneath the bridge of Del Rio. The United States authorities are prepared right now for another influx, huge influx of migrants. A lot of them will arrive. You got more, if you round up the number of how many migrants they are walking up, possibly you can get more than almost 10,000 that they are going to walk up there and see if they have a possibility to enter the United States of America. The problem is not the way the problem is particularly the way that the Institute of National Immigration is handling the situation. These leaders of authority in our country of Mexico are creating a crisis and a catastrophe. And they're under the order of our president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. That our president is particularly saying that everything is controlled in the south border. That everything is being done perfectly in our south border. That migrants are being treated correctly. That the authority is being respected. And that the Institute of National Immigration and the National Guard are doing an excellent job. As you guys have seen my broadcast and also multiple people that I have worked with in the south border of Tapachula, you guys are going to see that everything that is coming out of AMLO's mouth, it is a complete and blatant lie. As everything that is coming out of Joe Biden's mouth, it is a complete and blatant lie. Everybody deserves a better opportunity in life. Everybody deserves a second chance in life. Everybody deserves to live in a better place in life. Everybody deserves that. There's a pathway and there's a way to do it. And that needs to be controlled. Other than that, you will have catastrophes of children dying in a caravan, people being raped and killed in the Darien Gap, in Panama, people being under abuse and dictatorship in Venezuela, people being abused under dictatorship in Nicaragua, people being abused under dictatorship in Guatemala, Honduras, people being abused under dictatorship of cartel in Michoacan, in Guerrero, in our country of Mexico. Also, you will have countries that they're going to be affected, like the United States of America. The globalists, they do not care about the working class. They do not care about the citizens. They do not care about the sovereignty of a nation. They do not care about law and order. They do not care about anything. They only care about their Agenda 2030. It is an update from how things are looking today. I will be going back in the next couple of days again. And ultimately, I will bring you guys more reality and more truth of the news. We are going to go more deeper than, than what we have been going through. 9 times we have traveled to the south border of Tapachula. We have created a great friendship with journalists and mainstream media and authorities over there. It has become a great relationship of work and ultimately transparency when it comes to broadcasting and bringing the reality and the truth. And we are going to be traveling soon a little bit deeper into the problem. And we're going to go little by little, we're going to go deeper and deeper to the problem until we see the root. And the root is this globalist compact of immigration. That they don't care about lives. They don't care about humans. They're seeing humans suffering. They're seeing humans, having a catastrophe, stress, breakdowns. All of this, they're seeing at the globalists. And they do not care. They're seeing a country of the United States struggling right now. They're seeing a country of Mexico struggling right now. They see Central America being ambushed by communists and dictatorships. They see also Venezuela struggling. They see Cuba under a communist regime, and nobody's doing anything about it in the world because they want to be still in this dictatorship of communism. Nobody is doing anything about Cuba. Why nobody is going over there and rescuing Cuba? Why the Pope is not saying anything about Cuba, but he says about other populations of the world? Why? Why nobody is talking about the dictators, that they're taking away the freedom of people? If you talk to migrants, they will tell you, will you prefer? I asked this question to one migrant from Venezuela. And I said, you have $1 million on this hand, and you have freedom on this hand. What would you prefer? And all of them have responded, freedom. It is sad when the freedom is taken away from you. And how this globalist, communist, leftist, radical leftist agenda, it is pushing little by little with their dictatorship, with their mandates, with this situation that you're going to do as I tell you, and you're going to say as I say so. And if you don't comply with what I say so, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, and if you don't practically obey my orders, you will be mistreated and you will be treated as a traitor. You also will be mistreated and you will be treated as a horrible human being. Also, you will be treated as a individual that doesn't want to help the world to succeed, and you will not be part of the new globalists and the new international economic life. It is unbelievable. This, in a point that we have been broadcasting, and at the point that we have been bringing you guys the truth of how this is getting resolved, and how every step of the way, it's moving a little bit forward. And you guys are understanding how the ultimate goal of the globalists is to just practically destroy every sovereign nation. You will autocorrect yourself and you will be like, wow, I cannot believe this. When did these people have become so unhuman? It is so unhuman what they are doing. And they're not caring about nothing that is happening on every country. The poverty that these people are living through and going through. The lives of every single person that lives in a third world class country. The things that the United States are going through, where the United States of America is under communist globalist dictatorship. Our world is changing. Our borders are changing. Our laws are changing. Our constitutions are changing. Everything that is evolving right now in our world is changing. And it's out of necessity, and they're using human beings to do their agenda. It's just unbelievable. Somebody's saying right here, I don't care, I just want them, uh, I just don't want them in Mexico, send them to the USA. Well, that is a correct, that is, I'm, I'm so amazed and appalled by your solution, brother. Your solution is just beyond, beyond understanding. Forget about fixing the problem in their own countries. Forget about fixing the corruption in their own countries. Forget about these dictators that they're not only involved in their own countries, but they're involved in the continent of America and the whole continent. It is just under communist and globalist dictatorship. Forget about that. Send them out. And that's it. Great solution. Unbelievable, great solution. Update for everybody that is watching, another caravan, recap, another caravan of 3,000 have left the south border. And around 3,000, that's what they're saying, around 3,000. These people, the majority are from Haiti, and they are walking right now through the parts of Huehuetan. They have closed the road in Huehuetan, Chiapas, and ultimately after that, closing the road in Huehuetan, Chiapas, they will try to negotiate with, the Institute National Immigration and try to tell them, if you give us buses and if you provide the buses for us to get out, we will, open the road, and we will not hold hostage the road. We will open the road. People are tired. People are extremely tired. Not only the migrants are tired, people of Tapachula are tired, Mexican people are tired. People are just exhausted and tired. The solution, immigration reform for every country. It needs to happen. And every single investment that is being done in a foreign country that is a third world class country, it needs to be well invested. Infrastructure, security, jobs, everything that is sent over to the south border, it needs to be well and perfectly invested, because that has been the root of the problem. All the money that has been thrown by the United States of America, millions and millions, and other foreign countries like Canada, also countries from Europe that they have helped these Central American countries, the money has been directed to these corrupt, parasite politicians, that they're not investing on the future of their countries and on the children of their countries. That is the number one problem. Thank you so much for joining in. It has been a pleasure to be talking to you guys on this morning. Live from Tijuana. We will be heading out soon again. It has been a pleasure talking to you guys this morning. Follow my partner, Real Anthony Agüero. You can follow him at every platform. Also, you can follow me at Getter, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Telegram as Oscar L. Blue. Follow me also at Instagram and Oscar Blue Media, and also as Oscar Blue Team. I don't go in Instagram. The Oscar Blue Team Instagram, it's managed by Oscar Blue Team. I don't manage, certain platforms. I don't manage them, but we are Oscar Blue Team. So thank you so much for joining this live feed. I will be giving you guys another update in the next incoming days. I will be taking a couple of days off. It has been, a really, if you sum up and if you add all the days that I've been out of my house, it is a total of 24 days and less than a month. 24 days in less than a month. And you know, it's has been difficult. 24 days. I've been only in my home 6 days. So 24 days, you know, in less than a month, it has been a lot of work and exacerbated work. You know, every day getting up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and walking, documenting, doing a lot of video. So it has been, extremely hard for us. But we'll be back on December again on the floor, working in the South Border, and ultimately bringing you guys reality and truth of the news at every moment. Thank you so much for giving you guys an update. God bless you all. Stay safe. And like we always say, people, peace and love. Because always your country first. God bless.